Do 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 do. Oh, do 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 do. Oh. Uh-oh, my watch. My watch. My watch. Where's my watch? There's my watch. Got my watch. Got my watch. Oh. Hello, Antone. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Nicole. Compa Daniel. Oh. Quiet little crowd today. Maybe we'll just have a small group. Might be a group of one. Me. And whoever wants to hop on periodically and touch base and keep moving and say, I don't want to watch this morning. This is no good. That was one of my questions I was going to have for you. My name's Ken Tracy. And this is Coffee with Ken. It is Saturday morning. It is October 26th. It is about 6:03 a.m. Happy Saturday. Yesterday was a hard day for me. Yesterday was a hard day. I woke up during the night feeling sick in a bunch of different ways and wasn't sure what I was going to do and would kind of hoped it would go away, but it didn't go away. It just kind of got worse throughout the day. And I went on and did my coffee show just the same in the morning because I do it just about every day, where I go live and talk for a little bit about life and the ups and downs we have. And I don't know. I got a bunch of topics that seem to resonate with an audience, but they come up as they come up. I don't sit down and want to talk about sobriety or mental health or anything. But just as the conversation leads, it often goes there. But yesterday I woke up not feeling well at all and ended up calling off of work, which was hard for me. I was supposed to work at noon. I work as a waiter here in Naperville, Illinois, and I felt guilty leaving the restaurant hanging without a employee, and would have felt guilty had I gone in and, gotten anybody else sick at all. Felt guilty because I didn't make any money yesterday, and I didn't even leave my little house. And felt guilty because I didn't work out or do anything productive or move forward in any way for me. So it was hard. And I laid there and was kind of feeling yucky and feeling tired and not feeling productive at all. And for a guy that feeds his soul on moving forward and getting a little better every day, I felt like I took several steps back yesterday. I don't know if you can take several steps back in one day of laying around and being sick and not earning any money. But it was hard for me. Felt further from my kids than I'd felt in a long time. Felt getting out of the room was an impossibility. And, getting myself on financial footing seemed further and further away because I wasn't working on a day. I probably would have made a few $100 that I needed. And didn't have the energy to fight or to even break out my computer and send out resumes or anything like that. So it was a hard day. But I woke up this morning and I was wondering, first of all, when I don't feel, I'm wondering if Coffee with Ken has value if I'm sick, or should I just lay in bed and skip the show that day? Was there any value to yesterday's show? Just a guy kind of hunched over, not feeling good, sniffling and coughing. And looking forward to laying back down in bed. I tell you why I know I was very sick yesterday, and I'm still sick today, but I almost feel it's on the mend a little bit, which is a nice feeling, is I usually drink, I don't know, 4 to 6 cups of coffee each day. And that might be fairly conservative. But yesterday during my show, I took my first sip, as I always do and still have to do right now, and said, it doesn't taste as good as I liked it, or I'm used to. And kind of worked my way through it and finished the cup and then laid in bed and didn't even think of getting any more, even though it was my very favorite Starbucks pumpkin spice. So because this is a show called Coffee with Ken, even though I'm not feeling well, I feel my props are still important. And for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. It is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee, even if I don't love it on that specific day because I got a bad cold. So on this Saturday morning, I'm moderately excited to have my first sip of this coffee, and my hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. I think because my nose is kind of plugged, the taste isn't as much as I like. It's the cinnamon roll coffee by Fredericks. Bought it about a month ago now at Meijer. It was on sale. Bought a couple bags. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Again, I don't know how many cups I'm going to have. Fortunately, I don't have to promise you like a 6-cup minimum or something like that. Because yesterday I couldn't get more than one. I had no desire to drink more than 1 cup of coffee yesterday. The pot sat in my kitchen and just sat there all alone. I'll tell you what, late in the day I broke out some ice cream and ate a lot of ice cream, and it was delicious. Made my throat feel good. Made me almost feel a bit of joy and optimism as the ice cream slid down my throat. Good morning, CW Tracy. Not original. You didn't miss a whole heck of a lot, so don't you worry. I was just talking about yesterday being a tough day. But I was sad. I was sad. I was sad. I cried a couple times just because I felt like, again, my kids were so far away. I've been scratching and clawing to get back on my feet and work hard and pick up shifts as a waiter and work out and get a little better every day. And then all of a sudden I got sick. And honestly, I think I got sick shaking a guy's hand at an interview. The timing was very coincidental, if nothing else. A really cool guy I met with the other day, and he told me not to shake his hand, but on the way out, I gave him a couple. Started sneezing 2 days ago and could barely get out of bed yesterday. Maybe God didn't want me to move forward yesterday. He said, Ken, you must stand still today or lay still. What am I grateful for right now? That I feel a little bit better than yesterday, Will Bill. That even though it doesn't taste quite as much as I like it, that I still have this hot cup of coffee. That I have 4 beautiful children that, although I feel far from right now because I'm in a extended stay in Naperville, and they all were doing their separate things last night, and I couldn't see them. I know they're out there, and I love them with all my heart. So, do I often hear voices? Somebody asked. Usually it's my voice, because I like to talk to myself. Sometimes I'll just sit in front of the phone Hey, somebody from Trinidad hopped on. That might be my first Trinidad viewer. Chugger saying, go Buckeyes, beat Nebraska. Is that who they're playing today? Will Bill has ringing in his ears. None of that sounds good. None of that sounds good. Oh, I was wondering, is it worthwhile doing a show when I feel like dog poop? Like, was yesterday's show worthwhile? Is today's show's worthwhile? But I didn't feel I had the energy to share anything yesterday or have any insight into anything. And I felt like I kind of been drowning in fluids the night before, and I got up and figured I'd do my show, but I really had nothing to say. And somebody was asking some questions near the end of it yesterday, and tried to come up with something inspirational or wise or funny to say, and it just wasn't there. Just wasn't there. And I post all of these live videos when I'm done on various social media platforms. And I'm wondering, okay, well, they might appreciate my consistency. But if I'm a first-time viewer and I'm watching this guy hunched over and feeling sick and complaining how he feels like crap and he's in a hotel room, that's not going to be very interesting content to me. But is the value of the people that tune in day after day, and since this show is a show about the ups and downs we have in life, to hide on the days we don't feel so well, and I don't know if it's hiding, but we'll call it hiding, to hide on the days we don't feel so well, might be cutting out a little bit of the story. I'll tell you what's tough. Even tougher than being sick, because I was okay just kind of sitting here all curled up. What's tough is when I feel mentally horrible, when I'm angry at something or bitter or jealous or worried or whatever, like where it's a problem. Because I like to think my show is a little bit inspirational for whatever reason. Because I got a pretty good attitude even though I'm sick, in an extended stay, working as a waiter at 56, currently carless, riding the scooter as we're charging into winter. It's funny, you'd say like all the odds are stacked against you. But I tell you, and I'm not even totally sure how I feel about faith, but I mean, I know it feels good to have it. And this is going to sound weird, and this is the first time I've ever, when you have God on your side, the odds are never stacked against you. And I'm not even totally sure how I believe, but that's kind of what I believe right now. Because, yeah, even at my lowest, I FaceTime my little, I got two little ones, a beautiful boy named Augie and a beautiful girl named Eve. And it was hard not crying a little bit as I talked to them, or tried to talk to them. They're little. They don't do a whole lot of talking. And I got a couple beautiful big girls as well. And one was cheering at a football game last night, and I couldn't go. Good morning, Carol. And the other one was at a pumpkin patch at school with her boyfriend. I was laying there in bed, hiding under my sheets. And they were outside enjoying the day and enjoying the sunshine. And she asked how I'm doing, and I wasn't doing real well yesterday. I wasn't doing real well. I was feeling down. Unmotivated wouldn't be the word. No worries. Somebody said I look like look like Hank from Breaking Bad. I've heard that before. I have heard that before. I remember when people say I look like Bruce Willis, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So I'm feeling a little better today, and I am not scheduled to work today. That was really hard for me. Again, to take off a shift, and again, I work as a waiter, and it was starting at 12 and going into the evening. I probably would have made $300 yesterday, and I would have needed those $300. So to not go in is hard for me. Was hard for me. Plus, again, I felt like I was letting the people down and being wimpy. Yeah. Huh. Then I got back to thinking about the gentleman I met for work the other day on an interview. And how as much as I want to do that job and think I'd be great at it, I don't think I could afford to do it right now. Kind of bummed me out a little bit. And then I had gotten on Craigslist a couple days ago and looked up apartments for rent or rooms for rent, hoping to move a little closer to downtown Naperville. By the way, if you're ever going to do that, be careful. There's a lot of scammers out there that create fake real estate listings and do their best to find a desperate would-be tenant for their properties. And believe me, I think I'm fairly smart and pretty suspicious, but I was trying to wire these guys money a year and a half ago on a sublet that didn't exist, and they were just scamming me. And fortunately, the bank didn't let the money go through. But anyway, I reached out to a few people on Craigslist the other day, and one of those scammers happened again, and I recognized it. Excuse me. But also a real human being reached back, and he seemed organized and what I had to do to rent the place. It's really no closer to downtown Naperville, but it's a one-bedroom apartment, and it looks pretty nice, and it comes fully furnished, and he's asking a reasonable rental rate. If anyone's curious, it was $13.50. But you'd need the security deposit as well. And I was laying in bed when I was reading this email going, boy, I can't even get out of bed and go to work today. You know? Yes, the rent on his one-bedroom apartment would be less than I'm paying here. And yes, it's furnished, and yes, utilities are included, and yes, the neighborhood is probably a little nicer than here. And yes, it's not a extended stay, so all that would be good. I think they even have a swimming pool there. I think they even have a swimming pool over there. I was wondering if they have a gym there. I could really use a building with a gym right now. I could really use a building with a gym right now. Somebody wanted to know what the starting pay was at the job. I won't tell you exactly what the starting pay was, but it was a job that's mostly commission. It was a sales job, and they give you a draw, and the draw would not cover my bills. And, you know, I don't think it's necessarily supposed to, but I don't have the financial savings or to go off in that direction. Because unless I got out of the gate selling left and right, I'd be in some trouble pretty quickly. And kind of bummed me out a little bit because I think I would be good at it. But yeah. I think I'd be real good at it. I think the guy that was interviewing me thought I'd be real good at it. He watches my videos sometimes, he said. If he's watching, hello. I think you and I both know I'd be very good at it. But it was a matter of getting through those first few months. And I'm not in a position, you know, I'd have to juggle the waiting and find times to wait tables while going to work and continuing my coffee show, and trying to see my kids as best I can. Oh, thank you, Angela. Angela just hopped on and said she watched my drinking video. I'd kind of wonder which drinking video. I post a fair bit about sobriety, and I think I came across a good one yesterday. Excuse me. And I posted it here on TikTok, and I think it might do kind of well. Glad I'm moving forward. Yeah. It's weird. People don't get it when they're drinkers. It's a huge part of who you are. You know, it's much more significant than whether you're right-handed or left-handed, or whether you are, you know, it's a huge part of your personality if you drink versus if you don't. And when you stop drinking, you almost become a different person. You know, I'm probably not as fun as I used to be in the classic, crazy, fun way. I probably like quiet time by myself a little more than I ever used to. I don't think I need to be around people as much as I used to, and I'm not into sports as much as I used to. And if you go into a relationship as a drinker, or if you're both drinking, and one of you stops, I think that would put strain on a relationship. You know, heavy strain on a relationship. And somebody had asked me if my drinking had a hand in my divorces. And I said, well, it had a hand in my marriages and who I dated and what I did and the jobs I had. And it had a hand in everything. And it's a lot. So to say it was to blame for the divorces, I mean, it was not to blame, but it was involved in everything. Who I married, the people I was interested in, what I did in my spare time. I'll tell you, even though I felt like dog crap yesterday, I probably would have found a way to drink or smoke yesterday a little bit to see if it would make me feel a little better. But the temptation is gone. Angela, I wonder what you mean when you say you're living it. Did you stop drinking? Good morning, Mo and God. Did you stop drinking it, or is your husband drinking? And I'll ask you, was your husband drinking when you started dating? Or did he just start drinking after you're married? I think a lot of us expect our spouse to change when we get married. And maybe that's not a smart thing. And I think we only change when we're ready to. And if you married somebody that was drinking drinking when you were dating, well, way to go, Michael. Way to go. Michael said he quit drinking 5 years ago and he's been married 34 years. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that, is helping your marriage a lot, but excuse me. Maybe it is. Hey, thanks for the lightning bolt, Michael. I like lightning bolts. We had thunder the other night. I was feeling sick, but we had a thunderstorm coming in. Yeah. Gives me hope. It's good to have hope, TD. It's good to have hope. But I think you need to keep moving forward and becoming the best person that you can be. And you can't wait around for somebody. I think that just caused conflict. Probably does. I might. I'm almost tempted, although I'm feeling a little warm and sweaty and I'm sneezing. And hopefully my cold isn't contagious through this phone. I'm feeling a little sassier today than I did yesterday. And like I maybe can, let's go get a little more coffee. You guys sit right there or do whatever you will. go. I'm coming back. I am coming back. I asked my friend that watches my show yesterday if it was worthwhile to go on live when I didn't have much to say and I wasn't feeling well. She said, yeah, if it makes you happy. It's impressive how determined you are. Hey, thank you for that. Yeah. And maybe even though I wasn't feeling good, I got just what I needed out of yesterday. And I think, although I'm scared, and if I look at my situation, right now, I could be in some trouble in a month. I go back and forth. I know anxiety comes from looking ahead. And if we enjoy the moment or living in the moment, we won't feel anxious. But it's hard not knowing that winter's coming. And for the last 6 months, I've been riding around a scooter around the country as my primary form of transportation. And that if it snows or gets real cold, that will not be a viable means of transportation. Tried to start planning. I know there's a bus route in Naperville, and wondering if I could take the bus all the way down to work. Unfortunately, I can't. I could take it about halfway or 2/3 of the way. And, okay, Angela said the only thing we've had, I'm sorry, Angela, I'm going to read it for anybody. The only thing we had in common in 20 years was the fact that we drank. I'm ready to quit. He's not. Well, I don't want to give advice, but when you say that, you should quit. I don't know what ready to quit necessarily means. I don't know what ready to quit. If you're ready to quit, quit. I think a lot of us think we're ready to quit. I mean, I was ready to quit, and I've said this before, for 15 years from drinking. And quit. Stop drinking. Don't drink today, Angela. He's going to come along when he's ready. He's going to come along when he's ready, or if he's ready, or he's not. But no, you drinking today is not helping him any. Stephen asked, if I may ask, how am I sick? I don't really understand how am I sick. Certainly, Stephen, you understand the concept of being sick. I like to think I don't get sick, but every once in a while I do. And honestly, I think I was on an interview the other day, and the gentleman fist bumped when I met him. And he was and I was going, hey, that's weird. I like to shake hands. So as I'm leaving, and we got a good couple handshakes, I think he didn't want to because he knew he was sick. So kudos to him for trying to protect me. But my overzealousness, I think, picked up some germs, and here I am a few days later. Well, Angela, thank you so much for following the live creator. Angela, I would love to hear if you hop on tomorrow and tell me you didn't drink today. You can't control your husband. Don't worry about what he's doing. You're going to worry about what he's doing, but try your best not. All you can do is take care of what you can control, and what you can control is whether you drink or not today. And who knows? I mean, maybe, I get it. I was just probably an obnoxious drunk most of my life, and my wives tolerated me. And maybe because they were tolerant of my behavior, was a lot of the reason we were together. Because I'm going, wow, what, because they put up with me. Chugger said he has a suggestion for a career change. Well, Stephen, no. I'm just under the weather. I hope I don't look as bad. I won't even say it. Jones said he went through a bad phase of drinking when he lost money in the stock market. Huh. I never had a bad phase of drinking. It was always just kind of consistent. Every day. Sometimes 6, sometimes 15, depending on whether it was a weekend or not. And again, I tell you what, as a realtor, it's so easy to drink. It's so easy to drink. Because you can do a lot of your work from home. You can be sending out emails and what have you. And this work would be a lot more fun if I had a Heineken right here, says Ken at 11:30, 3 or 4 years ago. And I'd feel like it was like a miracle juice because it was giving me the incentive, the rewards I needed to keep working. And in some ways it was. Well, that's a lot, TD. TD says 15 to 18 is her husband every day. That's not good for you. Yeah, that's not good for you. But again, I don't think you can... you should read, TD, and I probably recommended this book to you before, Codependent No More. And it was a book written by Melody Beattie, and I think a lot of codependents are women that tolerate men that drink too much. But I think it can be used in a lot of different relationship issues. But a lot of them were women that were married to men that drank a lot. And I bet you, if you read that book, again, Codependent No More, I think everyone should read it because I think we're probably all varying degrees of it, feeling you can fix, save, change somebody. And Angela was talking earlier that she's ready to quit, but her husband's not. It's not your job to get your husband to quit. It's not your job to get your husband to quit. Yeah. Because they're not going to want to quit until they want to quit. And once they want to quit, I'll tell you, it's pretty darn easy. Hey, thank you so much. We're getting people following the live creator. That's fun. I don't think I'm going to leave my house today. I think I'm going to be okay with it. I got through 2 days of editing. Tammy said she's been sober for 9 years. She loves that I talk so openly about not drinking. Sober is the new cool. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's my thought about that, Tammy. We all have heard of the group Alcoholics Anonymous. And it was a way where you could come to a safe place and talk about your drinking anonymously and without the world knowing. But I figure if you're going to be anonymous about it, you're not really helping other people. And I hope, and I didn't drink like, I got a DUI. It was 5 years, just over 5 years ago. Twice divorced. But, I think the drinking was a symptom for underlying issues, for anxiety and sadness and depression and trying to be something I wasn't. And the only way I could deal with it was by drinking. And, I still struggle with sadness. Again, yesterday I was laying in bed. I was crying because I felt like my kids were so far away. And I was getting further every minute. I wasn't at the restaurant working. And I needed that money. And what was I going to do? And the job I liked and interviewed for the other day, I don't think would be right just now. They didn't even offer me the job, but I think if the numbers would have worked out, they would have. But, yeah. But I'm feeling better today. maybe mentally as much as anything, a little bit physically. I feel like one more day of rest, one more day of editing videos. Maybe I'll find a couple pieces of gold in the videos I'm editing. I'm about a month behind, but got some editing work done yesterday, and posted a video about what I was just talking about that I know is doing pretty well on one social media platform, and it's probably going to do pretty well on TikTok. Yeah, you admire my strength. I appreciate it. I was crying yesterday. I don't know if I'm that strong. I'm resilient. I can take a beating and keep on ticking, and have. Tammy said she still struggles with her mental health, but forced to deal with her emotions. Yeah, that's what's so neat about not drinking. Excuse me. Sorry about the gross noises I'm making. I gotta sneeze. I feel bad. Making yucky noises. I don't want to make yucky noises. I gotta watch this video. I'll watch this video in like 5 weeks and edit it. It'll be me making a bunch of gross noises. And yeah, Tammy, that's the kind of neat thing. When you drink, you don't have to deal with your stuff. You don't have to deal with your stuff. You can hide from your stuff or run from your stuff or act like the stuff's not there. And then when you decide you don't want to drink, you kind of got to face it and deal with it and move past it or find healthier ways to cope with it. And I don't know. I think you can hang your hat with a little pride just on that alone. We've had a bunch of people talk about not drinking on this show here. And I'm wondering, has it been hard for you? It hasn't been hard for me. My voice is so soothing to listen to. Have you thought of doing radio or reading books like audio? I don't know how you do radio. Do people still listen to radio? I mean, I'm talking right now. I'm talking right now. Okay, Tavis says not drinking is very hard for me. Tavis, I'd ask, are you not drinking or are you drinking occasionally? And Joan says they've not been able to quit completely. They're a lot better. Tammy said it's been hard because they lost a lot of friends. For me, I think cutting back would be nearly impossible. Because you're leaving the door open for drinking. And if the door is open for drinking, I'm going to run right through, and drink all day. But for me, I don't know. It was almost 3 years ago today, by the way. And it was on October 28th, 2023. Or no, excuse me, October 28th, 2021 that I had my last beer. Just about 3 years ago. Tony said it's been hard because they've been jobless for 1.5 years and they go on long benders. Hey, Tony, you want a job? Are you physically able? You want a job to start feeling like you have a little purpose in life? 3 years ago, I think it was 3 years ago, I was leaving the real estate business, or maybe it was 2 years ago, and I needed income. I got a job right about this time of the year as a UPS driver helper. And I worked, rode along in the truck. And at this time of the year, coming into November, coming into Christmas, a lot of people are sending out a lot of packages. And the UPS truck is filled. And the driver's busy sorting them. And he'll hand you the package and you run it to the front door. And then you come on back. And if you are jobless and you need a job, and if you're jobless, you probably do, it takes a little bit of, physical work. You're sometimes carrying around heavier packages, and you're certainly walking to and fro the truck a lot. But it feels good. And it pays a little bit. I don't know what they pay, maybe $20 an hour. Not a ton. But some is better than none, I know that. And for me, I had a Santa hat I wore on a few days when I did it because it felt like you were, as a former salesperson, as a former realtor who used to go knock on doors in my area, people weren't excited to see me come knocking on their door. But if you're carrying a package from UPS and they see you coming and you're wearing a Santa hat, they're excited to see you. It was work. It was tiring. I needed to sleep when I got home. But I'd recommend. And again, they hire quickly. And I don't know if you're physically fit or you could do it. But I would recommend anybody out there that's struggling and needs some work or needs some money and wants a job that's going to put them to work and kind of start them, get them started. You know, it might not be a career for you, but who knows, maybe it could be. But I enjoyed it, and I'm actually thinking about doing it again this year. You know, I make a lot more waiting tables, but maybe it could be a good addition to what I'm making. And if I'm working on, I don't know, waiting tables 3 nights a week, maybe I could, I don't know, pick up a few shifts delivering packages. We have a nice audience today. We've had a nice audience a lot lately. I'm not sure why that is, but right now we got 71 people watching. And that seems like a good group. And it makes me excited. Tavis wants to know why I left real estate. I would say I didn't feel I was adding to society at all being a realtor. As hard as I tried and as much as I wanted to make the buyer or seller experience awesome, honestly, I felt most of my customers looked at it as a business transaction and as the realtor, me, as a necessary evil. Somebody that they needed to hire to open up the door to go see houses. And I worked hard and I did it for 17 years. And my record year was I made $108,000, but I probably averaged maybe 60 over those 17 years. And I worked hard. And I didn't like the feeling of telling people I was a realtor because I think it put up barriers right away. I don't know. I didn't feel proud being a realtor. Dre asked, how old do you need to be to work for UPS? I do not know. Ocean View. Hold on. Hang with me. TikTok does not pay for their live shows. They pay when a video gets watched a heck of a lot. And I think my record video made me $70 or something like that. I posted a video about how I became a millionaire or something a few weeks ago, and it might have made me $70. And if a video gets seen a lot, and some of mine do. Some of mine do. Some of mine do. Somebody said, I think if you got back into real estate, you'd do well. I don't want to get back into real estate. I can't tell you how often people tell me to get back into real estate. I kind of find it annoying. It's like you're not listening. I'm not mad at you, but every day I say, you should get back in real estate. I don't want to. I didn't like it. I didn't make that much. It's harder than most people think. There's few people moving right now. I'll tell you what, I think you guys all think that a realtor's job is showing people homes and listing properties. But a realtor's primary job is generating new business. And maybe that's true for most jobs, but I don't know. I've never seen it so obvious that 90 to 95% of my time was spent trying to find somebody that needed to buy or sell. And maybe 5 or 10% was actually with a customer. And I don't know, it just didn't feel rewarding. I don't think so, Kenergy. I am a big talker. Somebody said I'm a big talker. Went to go find you and all these accounts come up. It was crazy. Like, who are they? I don't know. I'm glad you went to go find me. Opal shared the live. You'd be good in radio. You have the voice for it. Sharon said, my father and grandmother tried real estate and quickly got out, stood up a lot. Yeah, no, it's a tough business. It is a tough business. Because, again, people don't move that often. You know, people think about moving a lot. And there's a tremendous difference between somebody thinking about moving and somebody that's actually moving. People that are thinking about moving usually don't move. But people that are moving, move. And to actually find somebody that's really moving takes a lot of turning over a lot of rocks. And I just didn't like the feeling of it. I just didn't like the feeling. I think I've talked for, I don't even know how long today, 45 minutes. 45 minutes this morning, and we talked about jobs and careers and sobriety. And I think this made a difference. I think this made a difference. And I didn't feel anything I did really made a difference as a realtor. And maybe I have too big of a need to make a difference. And maybe I'm making a difference, you know, either way. Hold on here. Excuse me. But, I don't know. Feels good doing what I'm doing right now. Feels good waiting tables and making money. It's hard when you're sick and you can't go into work and you don't make the money you expected to, and your check's smaller than you wanted it to be. And the winter's coming, and you're staying in an extended stay. TD's been watching a while. She's seen me in several different homes, I think. Rainy day refund kicks in. I'm not totally sure what that means, but I like the sound of it. How did I become a millionaire? Just gambling. Just gambling. Got on a hot streak during the dot-com era. I used to make a lot of money as a stockbroker, but that was legalized stealing. If anyone's seen Wolf of Wall Street or Boiler Room or Wall Street or any of those movies, it's basically what I did. And I worked for some big companies in the brokerage business. I worked for Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns and Oppenheimer, and sat in front of a phone and dialed people all day, wealthy business owners, and pitched them stocks. And if you got somebody to buy 10 grand worth of a stock, you'd make $200. And then you'd call back in 10 days and pitch them another one and see if you could get them to buy more. And we made money and they did not over time. And although it was lucrative, I lost the ability to do it. I remember sitting next to a buddy of mine. I had 2 stocks blow up, which means go down significantly in a day, and I leveraged the crud out of my clients and was using margin. And one was a company called Smart Modular. Its ticker symbol was SMOD. And this was probably 1995, but I bet you still could find some information on them. And the other one, I forget what it was. There was Catalyst Semiconductor, which just drifted away to nothing over the years. And yeah, I would lose my clients' money and felt horrible about it. So anyway, I took what money I had left after I left that and put it into the stock market and traded that at a fortunate time, and bought a bunch of different IPOs that would, about a week or 10 days after they went public. And consistently the company that brought them public would recommend them as a buy, and then the stock would shoot up and go up threefold, and I'd make a ton of money. And I parlayed 30 grand into $1 million in about a year and 4 months. And it wasn't because I was smart. I mean, I saw a pattern that was developing, but it was just a stupid time. And I think we're seeing a stupid time right now, Yeah. I mean, the market goes up. It's funny. They were showing on CNBC, I was watching it a little bit, between coughs and sneezes, that NVIDIA and Apple Computer taking turns at who's the most valuable company in the world. And I don't know. I don't know about AI. I don't know about AI. I don't like even the concept of it too much. It's going to replace a lot of people. Wonder what most of us are going to do for jobs if AI keeps going in the way it is. Kind of think there's some value in what I am doing. What this is, what Coffee with Ken is in an AI world. Because I think people are going to want to connect with real people and real experiences and real emotions. And I don't think talking to a computer about their programmed anxiety or their programmed drinking could replace this. And I think in a world where we're longing for connection and longing for connection, Coffee with Ken has a lot of room to grow. No, I've not really experienced ChatGPT at all. No. Occasionally, I've touched on a couple AI things. You can, excuse me, I'm so sorry. You can, I don't know, I think people make videos with AI. Seems strange. I know I've tried to have AI edit some of these videos that I'm doing. I edit and break all these live videos down into shorts and reels and clips. And AI can do it for you very quickly and crank out 6 different videos in an hour-long video in a matter of seconds with subtitles and stuff. But I don't know that I like their videos. I don't know if they had the same eye for what I was trying to accomplish. They don't like pauses. And sometimes you'll watch one of my shorts and reels and clips, and I'll have pauses that'll be longer than maybe some other content creators. And I don't know, I think there's something about my inflection that AI doesn't appreciate. How do I forgive myself for past mistakes? I think you just have to. We've all made mistakes. We've all sinned. We've all done things we're not proud of. And hanging on to that guilt isn't helping anybody. I think hanging on to the remorse or the guilt of your past mistakes is more likely going to lead you to repeat them because of, you're focused on them. Good morning, Lisa Strong. How are you? Well, it's been a good show today. It's been a good show today. I have talked for just about an hour and have enjoyed it. And I don't know what my day holds. I mean, I'm probably going to be chilling out in my bed. It's weird when you're sick and under the weather and you're just kind of drifting in and out of sleep. And you'll wake up at 3 in the morning and go, I don't know, I've been sleeping for half the day. Night becomes day and day becomes night. Maybe I need one more of those days, laying in bed and not doing a heck of a lot, maybe editing a few videos and seeing if I can find more nuggets of gold on one of these live videos from 4 or 5 weeks ago, and gain some traction and get some rest and get some sleep and feel a little stronger tomorrow and get back to it tomorrow and what have you. Still almost dark out. Not dark, but certainly darkish. It's almost November. Well, anyway, it's Saturday morning. I want to thank you all so much for joining, tolerating my yucky sounds, and helping me carry on hopefully an interesting conversation. I appreciate you. I hope you had a great night's sleep last night. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful week over the past week. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.